beginning to weave my tapestry. Are you recording?
I am recording.
That's very good. Anyhow, hello, I am the Antlered King. I
And
live
I
here.
and I am and I am Eykim Gisnep. I am the crown prince of of Gisnep. Gisnep. My
I
father's.
like to make out with old men.
I like to make out with cat monks.
I say we are both valid.
Yes, I think so.
We now shake hands.
Yes.
Well, you try to shake hands. I look at you disdainfully because people are terrible and I hate them.
You know what? You are valid in your opinion. In your opinion, and I will move the conversation along like the good boy that I am.
Anyway, hey everybody, I'm Ethel.
And I'm Fable.
I live here, and I am. We're both DMing today because it's an FPS and that's how it works. But yeah. So we're gonna be having an FPS because recently, I don't know if you've listened to Ruindolph Rambles games. Little Corner has had some bullshit happen.
Yeah, you know how it is. There's always that one rich noble toon that wants to try and take over a town. Try and be like, oh, I'll take over a town, and then I'll take over Gisnep, and then the world. Wahaha. Yeah, there's always that toon. There's
They
multiples.
never seem to like think about the fact that like fucking 20%, which is more than usual, of their country is protagonists. TM.
Yeah, they never think about it, but they still go for it. You know how it is. Anyway, so that a lady Mazzy basically attempted that with Ruindal. Not Ruindal.
Mazzy, like Maisie,
No,
like
Mazzy.
the mouse,
What? No.
like Maisie Mouse.
No.
That's what I'm picturing now.
Okay, well then I'm required to put up her picture so that way this. No, not a mouse.
Yeah, you told me she was like a vole or something.
No, I didn't.
God, what conversation am I thinking of?
I don't
anyway,
know.
You said Mazzy. There is a cartoon mouse named Maisie.
I didn't know that. So it's unrelated. No, Mazzy is a Yzma XP. Because I wanted to make people scream when they saw her picture. Oh my god! And I'm now just seeing the picture of Mazzy, and that is definitely not who it is.
Yeah, that's Maisie Mouse, and she is like she's a famous like British cartoon character.
Ah, well that is definitely not who tried taking over Little Corner.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, are we talking about Maisie fucking Mouse?
We're really not. We're not, I swear.
But yeah, all right. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so Lady Mazzy, basically got a fake wax seal of the wax seal royal seal. You know the wax seals that king royalty people have.
Yeah.
And it's like one of a kind, so it's like they're not supposed to get fake or replica. Anyway, she got a replica of it. And basically got an actual royal guard captain named Captain Corp to basically bring him and his men to Little Corner and like, hey, we're gonna take over this town, that sort of deal. And then in the latest Ruindal Rambles, Antler and his crew basically put a stop to that with the help of the citizens of Little Corner. But the townspeople of Little Corner were not happy about it happening. And neither was Antler, to be perfectly honest, though he wasn't.
No shit.
He wasn't surprised that it happened because, looks at what he's currently, doing. Or attempting to do, anyways. He's trying to be a lot less, dumb about it. But, anyways, point is, Antler, on behalf of the people of Little Corner, wrote a strongly worded letter to Happiest Place, to the ruler of Gisnep, because hey, Lady Mazzy came from your place, and this should not have happened. Like, hey,
she didn't turn anyone into a llama this time.
She didn't, but she could have. They did find They did find plans for potions about turning people into animals on her desk.
Yep. She's done it before.
She's done it before.
Traveling around selling snake oil, turning people into llamas.
Yep. That's how she got rich, is by selling fake by fake potions that didn't actually help you. They just turned you into animals.
Yeah, and then it's like, but most people know her by her traveling textile emporium, where she sells yarn and various other goods.
You don't need to know where she got the yarn.
You don't. It's very soft, though.
It is very soft. It is absolutely not from any llamas that might have been people.
It's definitely not from anyone you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's fine.
It's fine. Anyways,
One of the llamas says, "Help me," and she's like, "Oh, hang on a second, I have to deal with that."
basically. But now she is no longer committing such crimes and felonies.
Antler
No! Thank God that didn't happen.
llama. I'm okay now.
What was that? Are you okay?
That was me laughing at the idea of llama antler.
God, I'm imagining it. I'm so glad that that didn't happen.
He can give Ruby rides.
No. No. Stop making me think about it. It's funny to think about, but no, it's not why we're here. Mazzy is now currently at the little. Mazzy is now currently in the little corner jail, and Eykim, Eykim, you get. Owl, you've stated this before that Eykim has to deal with several strongly worded letters from around the country.
Yeah, like, whenever people have, like, a shit thing that they don't like, there's always people who will go, "I'm going to write a letter and see if this will work, because I'm lawful good, and I believe that our fucking government exists for a reason, and that reason is to help us." And Eek tries his best to also be lawful good, in that he also believes that government is there to help you, which means that he's gonna do his damnedest to help you. Not every government is like this.
Yeah.
I gesture towards towards King Gisnep, whose government model is, it'll work out. It's fine. That's literally on fire. It's fine. It's all good. You're overreacting.
Yeesh. Yikes.
Yeah. So it's like some people just some people are like, "Oh God, our government is corrupt and useless, so they don't ever file complaints." And that actually benefits Altway, because that means he doesn't have to deal with them complaining. But Eek is the type who's like, they're complaining for a reason. We should do something about it. And now that he's the crown prince, they're doing a lot of paperwork, because he's going to be the king in about, let's say, like 8 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be king then. He's been going back through the archives, and he's been working really hard, and he doesn't have the best working habits, so like basically he gets a new big bag of like fucking angry mail every day.
Oh my God.
And he spends most of the day going through it. He does reparations, and so one of the letters in this big bag of angry mail is Antlers, and it's Antler has it's vellum, it's pretty, it's got like a lovely intricate wax seal in the finest hand of the fanciest ass wizard man.
You darn know it.
Yeah, it's buried under the amount of emails, messages in bottles, regular mail,
spam
folded
mail,
up notes into paper airplanes, just all of that shit in the bag, and Eek has been going through all of them.
Can there be spam mail where it's literally just Eykim opens the letter and what pops out is a can of spam?
Yeah, he's got a small pyramid.
Good.
Yeah, he donates that to food shelters, because it's really important for proteins to go into food shelters.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah, he also does that when people send him food or supplies, because he's got enough food or supplies. Other people need them.
At least he knows where to send them.
Yeah, like, he was one of those people who, like, his dad started him out on the easy end of ruling by putting him in charge of, like, the non-profit organizations.
Oh my God.
Because he thought he wouldn't have to do anything, because, like, he just didn't run them a lot himself. But Eek saw them and was like, no, people need help. We should help them. And he put a lot of work into them. So now, basically, unemployment benefits in the Gisnep Kingdom are really good. homeless people have access to many and varied shelters. Just basically, he took his branch that he was given when he was 12 and he made it a functioning, flourishing member of the government.
When he was 12. God.
Yeah, I told you he learned how to write an official contract when he was 8.
No, I know. I just really want to kick Gisnep's butt right now.
Oh, everyone does. I like making Gisnep like a huge asshole. Like, I enjoy it because it's like, with like, oh man, you know Gabriel Agreste from the Miraculous Ladybug show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically that's Gisnep if you gave him tons more power and
Oh my
reach.
God. So my thinking is that Antler, when he wrote this letter, is that he's been up at the top and he knows that letters will like he knows that when he was king a lot of letters did not make it to him because he had a lot of people that would go through the letters first and decide what was important for him to read. So as far as he's concerned, he knows that a complaint like this from the town is not going to reach anyone of importance ear, or I guess eyes in this case. Antler is not expecting anything to come out of this.
Yeah, he sent it because he was angry.
Yeah.
So he's finally gotten through the majority of this pile. Antler's envelope is a little bit heavier than everything else because it's a long letter.
It's worded. It's
Yep.
worded.
It's one of those things where, like, you know the paper they used to have on, like, fax machines where it would, like, it's attached to each other and folds?
Yeah.
And it has, like, punch holes in the sides?
Yeah.
That's the thing where, like, he pulls it out and it unfolds like an accordion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Humorously.
Listen, Antler has the townspeople had a lot of things to say, and Antler had a few things to say. So it's a mixed bag.
Yeah. So Eek finally gets to this letter. He's gotten through just about everything else except for a few little notes, which are basically, some of them are from people who actually have interacted with Eek before, and they're like, hey, keep up the good work. I know it's hard. Other people are just like, can you please get my cat out of my tree? And Eek, just, it's the stuff that isn't important, doesn't need direct, like, replying instantly.
Yeah.
Except for this one huge, heavy envelope that Eek has been, like, kind of dreading, but also that's a nice envelope. Like, that's nice. That looks cool. That's a cool seal.
Yeah.
Like, aesthetically, he approves.
And I want to say, like, for what it has inside, like again, when Antler was writing this out, is it strongly worded? Yes. But it's also one of those that's like it's a genuine complaint and it's a genuine like criticism and hey, you might want to do this to to improve and to avoid your seals getting replicated.
Exactly. So Eek reads through it. He has ye old fantasy highlighter.
Oh my god.
And he's using it to take notes. He has highlighted Antler's thesis, his supporting details. He has written little notes in the margins because he wanted to remember later what things specifically he had already dealt with. And just like he goes over the whole thing, he has it, and he folds it up. He immediately heads down to the library to look up where Little Corner is. Because the kingdom has a big fucking library in it. Like, the castle has a huge library in it. It also has a slightly smaller, more secret, badass library in it.
Ow,
I've mentioned this before. It's in the Silver Screen games.
Ow, what's more implementing their plan to get to mention libraries as much as possible.
Exactly. Libraries are good and they should be supportive.
God.
And like, there's also another library that hides the people who write the script for like the country.
Oh yeah, are those people still like employed?
Yeah, the people who write the script are still employed. We're sitting here right here, aren't we?
I guess it's just a case of no, never mind. That's Silver.
Yeah, you are officially now one of the script writers. Anyone who hosts a Toonkind game is an auxiliary member of one of the keepers of the script.
Oh shit.
The script.
Dang.
Get it?
Yeah. No. I got it.
Yep, get it? Like, yeah, oh god, we're the crypt keepers! No, you're the script writers. It was a pun the whole time.
No.
Anyway.
Everything's a... Welcome to Toonkind D&D, folks, where everything is a pun.
But yeah, basically, if you've written a Toonkind game, you are auxiliary member of the scriptwriters, which means that every time you're writing fucking like Ruindahl Rambles, you're a shady person in like underneath the middle of the country, currently typing madly at a laptop or something.
I'm okay with this.
Yep. Occasionally, other people like if you're doing it with multiple people, your players are also script writers.
Aww.
Yeah, basically you'll have like a big circle of the current script writers together and you'll hang out. Some people have dice. It's neat.
This is getting very meta.
Yeah, that's the whole point. I fucking love the idea of the script. Anyway, Eek goes down. He looks up where Little Corner is. He realizes that the last known record they have on Little Corner was from the census 5 years ago.
Oh.
And it was just mentioned as small town.
Oh. That's definitely outdated.
Yep, and he looks at the map and he's just like, all right, so it should be in about the same place. I'm guessing that it's not the same size.
Nope.
So he copies that onto one of the maps he's got. He pulls it out of his hammer space, makes a copy, and then he goes to requisition a thing that like he can get in. So like he requisitions a carriage. He also basically he does all the shit he needs to do in that he appoints someone to go over his mail. He says he won't be back for about a week or two. And he makes sure everything's fine. And also, he's a level 10 sorcerer, so he's fine.
Yeah.
He's gonna be alright. And everyone else is busy with their own stuff. Like, again, Sally is busy being, like, a knight. Like, all of his friends and fam. It's one of those things where he was like, I have prince business to do. I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Love you. Bye. And now he's he's on the road. He's driving a very nice carriage which has like one white horse, but the white horse has like little spots on it, so it's like a Dalmatian horse.
Oh my god. That's a long carriage ride because Happy's Place and Little Corner are on opposite sides of Gisnep.
Yeah, but you forget that Eek is a sorcerer and he also has he specifically, God, I think he had
Enhance ability?
Yeah, he has enhance ability at 2nd level and 3rd level and 4th level and 5th level.
Yeah, I was gonna
so
say.
Basically, it takes him about 3 to 4 days because he casts enhance ability on his horse a bunch while taking care of it.
Oh
so
God.
Basically, this horse goes real fast. It goes like car speeds. It is not like 30 miles per hour. This thing's going like 60 miles per hour.
How fast do you think it No, I'm not making a Game Grumps joke here.
So, basically, what's Antler doing in a couple of days? Like, what's he doing?
Well, the thing is that Little Corner, when taking it back from Mazzy, there's basically a riot. Some things were definitely broken, and not to mention Mazzy kind of fucked up with because Little Corner it may have started out as a small town, but nowadays it's a pretty thriving trading village, since it's basically right by a river that goes straight into the ocean, so it gets a lot of trade through there nowadays. And all of that basically got kind of fucked up by Mazzy because she kind of closed down the town. So Antler's been busy basically getting businesses back up, getting people making sure that, you know, people need to be where they need to be to fix things up, get things back in working order, essentially. Which is a lot of paperwork and a lot of meetings and a lot of walking about town.
Yeah, so basically he's doing fucking mayor things.
Basically, yeah. Pretty much.
I'm like, he's the mayor. This is Mayor Antler.
Yeah,
Mayor Antler.
Yeah, Mayor Antler. He's one step closer to his actual goals, but for now he's doing this.
Does he have a mayor sash? Yes.
He doesn't wear it though. They gave
They gave him a mayor sash. I'm like, I'm exercising my right to say he has a sash.
He has it. He hasn't worn it. The town of Little Corner also really wants to do, because they have a thing when they elect a new mayor. They have like a little celebration, which was started by their previous mayor, and they want to do it for Antler, but Antler is not used to being celebrated, so he has mixed feelings on on that.
Oh, amazing! I can't wait for Antler to walk into a conversation and then there's a parade.
Yeah, yeah, it'll happen at some point. It hasn't happened yet because Antler's been like, no, no, no. Little Corner needs to be fixed up first before we can think about doing any sort of celebrations.
Exactly. So it's very good. So basically, Antler, you're in the middle of something, and basically your little like mayoral secretary person uh, comes up and says, "Sir, you've got a letter."
Hmm? Oh, thank you. He
Yeah,
will.
he gives you the letter, and then he like runs off. Because he's got like an entire bag full of shit that he has to give to people around for like department mail and stuff.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He's like,
Everyone's pretty busy, so Antler doesn't question it too much.
yeah, and the letter you receive is in a nice envelope, but like it's a regular ass envelope. Like it's no nonsense. Whereas Antler is the type to be really grand and over whatever about everything. This is like a regular. It's a paper envelope. There's a stamp in the corner. There's a seal on it, but only because seals are expected once you're over a certain station. The seal is red, and it looks like it is actively burning, but it is not.
If if not for the seal itself, Antler would be. Antler's already kind of confused about how normal this letter looks, aside from the seal. And if it wasn't for the seal, he'd think that he'd gotten someone else's mail. Uh,
Yeah. Do you wanna do like an investigate check or whatever?
yeah, I will do investigate check just so.
All right. So you investigate the piece of mail to see if you notice anything weird about it,
What's your
aside from the Bernie stamp.
What's your investigation? The Bernie? Oh, the burning.
Yeah, Bernie.
8
Because like it looks like it's on fire, but it's not catching anything on fire.
has an 8.
I'm gonna say with an 8, you notice that the fire isn't hot when you touch it.
Huh. Enchanted.
And you look a little bit closer at the seal, and it looks sort of like the Gisnep seal, but a little bit different.
Curious. And he will use a sharp nail to basically use as a letter opener to open the envelope and yeah, take out the paper and read it.
All right, so you break open the seal and then you slide out the letter. When the seal is broken, there's a little wisp of like smoke with a little bit of like flourishy like glitter in it. It smells like campfire. It's really nice. And like you know how campfires smell good. I always thought they smelled good.
No, no, I like it. Campfires are nice.
Yeah, he pulls out the letter, and it's again a regular ass piece of paper.
How's the handwriting?
The handwriting is nice. It's easy to read. It's friendly. Which is it's weird to look at someone's handwriting and go, I bet this person is really friendly, but it's friendly. And you read over and it says, greetings to Antler King, and then there's a bunch of the prerequisite royal shit that you have to be like, we're first of his line, blah blah blah, not sure about your line, blah blah blah. Basically, like, just all the shit that's like, oh, you are important, I acknowledge you, I am also important,
The
please
formality.
acknowledge me. It's the political bullshit
Yeah.
that you are required to do once you're of a certain station. If Eek hadn't included it, it would have you probably would have looked at this letter and been like, this is obviously a forgery.
Yeah, or this is very obviously the wrong mail. But anyways, go on.
Yeah. So you read it and it says, now that that's all out of the way, I've heard and read over your comments on Little Corner's recent snafu, and I've heard you. And as I have currently finished all other matters of business at the capital, I am coming in person to help you out. I will be there at approximately, and then it lists the date that it is today on the letter.
And Antler's ear flicks a little bit once he sees the date that it is supposed to be today, and in his mind he is quietly, but by no means surprised that the mailing system has not improved since his time.
It has improved, considering the last time, like, it's been a few days. the letter got there before Eek got there, and Eek was already basically like magicking his horse to be fancy and fast.
That's fair, but Antler's still not surprised that that
Like, you
he's
can
gonna.
teleport letters and shit, but for like really important stuff, it's important to have it like delivered by hand.
No, this is perfectly fair, and but Antler's just like, I'm somehow not surprised at this at all. All right,
Teleportation circles are expensive.
and I think at the and I think
They also take valuable business away from postal workers.
hmm, hmm.
Which is another branch of the government Eek is in charge of.
Oh my God, Eek, delegate, my boy. You gotta delegate.
He does not.
Oh my God, you're gonna have a headache real quick, my boy. Anyways,
Yeah, the last time he delegated was when he had to run away from his dad and help save the country.
Oh my God. Oh my God. See, me, Fable, no, if Antler ever learns about any of this, I know exactly how he's gonna respond. But right now, it's just me, Fable, who knows this, and not Antler. So only I can be the one to say, "Oh my God." Anyways, upon reading the letter, Antler will quickly, not quickly. He will turn to the people he was currently talking with, and he will have to apologize to them. This is what you guys are doing is important, and he will get back to you about it. But for now, apparently the crown prince is coming today, so I must go so it's best that I go and greet him. And
all right, can you roll me a perception check?
sure. Perception is 5. 20. Dirty 20.
All right, with that, once you've finished looking at the letter and you look up, immediately your vision does that thing where like you're just kind of seeing the entire courtyard, and you look over and you see a fairly tall mouse with like red dragon wings, tying a spotted horse up to a stable. Someone behind him accidentally drops something, and immediately he turns around after the horse is tied, and he says, "Oh God, oh I'm so sorry. Let me help you with that." And he lifts it with one arm. Like it's a big box, and he lifts it with one arm, and he says, "Where do you need me to put this?"
Antler squints a little bit, and it's kind of in that like. In that calm double take sort of way of like, when he heard that the crown prince was coming, this was not, he wasn't sure what to expect. I think he already knew that the crown prince was a mouse. I don't think he knew about the dragon bit.
No, that's new.
Yeah.
That's like he's actually like he's a little shorter than Aliona, but that means that he's probably up to Antler's chin.
Is he?
He got taller because he wanted to be taller than his brother!
Wait, how tall is Aliona?
God, I'm not... Aliona is shorter than Sally, but Sally is very tall. Eek is about an inch shorter than Aliona.
I don't know, I mean, either way, Antler's taller. I always imagined Eykim being around, like, Antler's, like, waist height.
Yeah, he's not at the waist height. He is now at Antler's boob height.
Oh my God. Tall mouse. Yeah.
And he's got, like, red dragon wings. So, basically, it's just, like, sorry that I said boob height, but I don't know any other way to describe that.
No, that's fair. Chest height, boob height is the same difference.
Yeah, and, like, specifically chest height to me... feels like it's a little lower, and boob height is like a little taller up there.
Yeah, yeah, Antler will watch this for a bit as he's as he is folding up the letter and putting it back in the envelope, and then as he is tucking it back, as he's tucking it into his hammer space, he will start walking across the courtyard towards who he can only assume is the crowned prince. Though, not looking as he was expecting.
Eek is still carrying the box, and he's helping the person who dropped it. And he puts it where they did say they needed it, and then he says, "Well, do you have any more? I mean, I don't know why they're having you carry these when you aren't like best suited for it." Basically, he has now gotten into a conversation over like the benefits and duties of this person's job with them, just to see if they are happy and satisfied.
Oh my god. Uh, I think. Oh man, I don't think they're displeased with their job. It's just a case of like their job's not bad. It's just that everything's just super busy right now. So it's a bit of they're just kind of stuck in the chaos at the moment.
Yeah, they're short-handed. So Eek says, like he's like, "Oh, I get it," like because he does understand, and he's like, "Well, I have to meet with someone now, but I'll come by later, and will an extra pair of hands help you guys?"
I mean, goodness, certainly. But I mean, wait, have these people recognized that it's the crown prince?
No.
Okay, okay. In that case, I mean, we're not ones to turn away a helping hand. Certainly not right now. But if you're busy, don't worry about it. We're a good group. We're a hardy group of people. We can handle most
Everyone's
things.
a hardy group of people. It doesn't mean that you don't need the help. And don't worry about it. I don't need to be paid or anything. This is literally my job. I am here to help.
Ah, so that would make you the crowned prince then, yes? Eykim, you
Uh,
would hear that behind you.
yeah, Eek's ear like twitches, sort of like Antlers does, but like it swivels all the way around because he's a mouse.
Yeah.
And then he follows his ears and turns his head and he says, "Oh, you must be Antler King, right?"
Hmm, yes.
And he holds out his hand to shake.
Ah, apologies, I do not shake hands.
Oh, do you have like a? Yeah, some people don't like they have a germ thing, or it's not their cup of tea. And he tucks his hand away and he says, "I got your strongly worded letter. I got here as quickly as I could without taking a teleportation circle. You know those things are commercialized, and I like to help the local transportation and mail systems more."
Hmm, understandable. I only
Yeah,
just
we're
rec-
working on nationalizing teleportation circles, but there are a lot of people who are lobbying against that.
Hmm. I will. Unfortunately, I was not able to prepare for your arrival as I'd only just received your letter moments ago.
Yeah, I wanted to get here fast, so I pushed my horse a little, and the letter should have gotten here a couple of days ago. But if you're so busy, I'd assume that it's been probably it should have gotten here yesterday. He checks the stamp on the letter, and yes, the letter indeed said like it's stamped with a stamp that says it arrived yesterday. It just hasn't been passed out until today because everyone is so busy.
Hmm.
And he's just like, that's just how it goes sometimes. No worries.
Hmm. Indeed. Well then.
Uh, you seem a lot calmer than your letter would like make you out to be.
Oh no, make no mistake. I'm still rather annoyed at how things have allowed this mess to happen. And he gestures towards the town that is still very much being cleaned up.
God, you and me both. We should have had another census taking like 2 years ago at the very least.
Hmm.
But you know, we don't need to do a census thing if we make the military bigger, says my dad, and I don't agree with that. But like, what could I have done? That like, oh my god, there's a lot of shit that I just couldn't do, and it's okay. My family says I need to learn how to calm down and deal with the things I can deal with. So that is why I am here. I am here to help you. I get things done quickly. I get them done efficiently. And you don't have to worry about. I'm gonna be here for 2 weeks. That's it. But you don't have to worry about me not being here long enough because I'm pretty sure I'll be done in a week, given that I don't sleep.
Do you not require sleep?
Oh no, I definitely require sleep, but I put it off.
Hmm. I would not recommend doing that.
Hey, I get results.
Results are well and good, but it matters little if you end up fainting from exhaustion.
if you end up fainting from exhaustion, you're still getting sleep, so I don't see the problem here.
If you don't see the problem, then that'll be your mistake to learn from, I suppose. And
Probably, yeah, but it's been working for
hmm,
like 2 years actually.
roll insight.
He's a really calm, good boy.
Roll insight on on the antler, please.
Yep.
21.
21.
21. Eykim, it goes without saying, you are not what he was expecting. Because when he worded that strongly worded letter, it was directed, you could probably guess, it was directed at your father. Uh,
Yep.
the guy who, wasn't doing so good doing king shit that he should have been doing. Uh, and Antler, again, didn't expect to get a response to the letter, did not expect anyone to come, let alone the crown prince, or for the crown prince to I mean,
Be an abominable workaholic.
yeah, yeah, that's a word for it. Your words, not his. uh and yeah, and you know what, Antler doesn't have much to say on it at the moment, but for now he will step aside and lead Eykim around the town to show what the damage that Lady Mazzy has
Yeah,
caused
and
and what needs
uh
fixing.
Ike nods, and then he also says, before we get into the nitty-gritty of things, because I want to help as soon as I can, I need to see the proof that you are in fact the mayor and leader of this town. Because otherwise, we could be getting, boondoggled.
As soon as you say proof that he's mayor, you get the sense that several people around you have turned their heads and are looking
Yeah, he
very
just says, all I
eagerly.
need to do is I need to see your mayoral staff, and you do have to shake my hand. I'm very sorry.
Wait, staff or sash?
Sash. I need to
Yeah,
see your mayoral sash, and you have to shake his hand.
with the with piggybacking off the 21 insight, you see Antler's ears tilt downward a little bit, and he looks like he's suppressing a groan, even though the townsfolk around who have been paying attention are kind of like looking eager now because they were looking forward to they were anyways.
Don't Yeah, Eek says, don't worry, you don't have to put it on or anything. I know a lot of the fancy formal wear that we have to wear as leaders is annoying. I just need to see it because there's a specific type of embroidery in the fabric of every single town's leader. Like every town has a special item given to its leader that has a special type of magical embroidery in it, and I can sense it because I'm royal. They train me how to do this. It's part of
Yes, yes,
being.
yes, I understand. Just
Yeah, like you probably had a similar system back in. Your name is Antler King, so I'm assuming that you probably come from a line of people who at one point were like rulers.
something like that. It is a long story for another time. And as he's saying that, he's rummaging into his hammer space real quick. He reaches behind him and pulls out the very, very colorful sash that has. There's a lot on it. It's a lot.
Is that glitter?
Unfortunately, yes.
Sequins? Look, there's macaroni. Oh man,
There
did the
isn't.
kids do that?
Hmm. And Antler's just holding it out as so Eykim can see the proof that he needs. Antler
Oh,
does.
that's so good. Look at this. This is so good. It looks like it'll fit you just right too when you wear it. God, the people of this town must really like you.
Mm,
Look,
so
I
it
know
would
that
seem.
you're probably one of those straight man types who doesn't like affection, and believe me, I understand that. I've lived with one all my life, but this is a physical, tactile piece of proof that the people in this town love you.
Mm, so it would seem.
If you wear it, I guarantee morale will go up.
Roll persuasion.
It's sort of like, how when kindergartners and first graders get really excited when they see you wearing something they made?
Yeah. No, Antler understands. He knows, but you're gonna need to roll persuasion for him to decide because God, it's gaudy as all hell.
Yeah,
Not
that's a 9.
a nine's not gonna do it. He's just gonna hold it out to Eykim to inspect to show that yes, this is proof that he is in fact the mayor of Little Corner.
Yeah, he flips it inside out, and then he runs his fingers over the edge of the stitching, and the stitching sort of glows. It almost looks like it catches on fire where his hand touches, and his fur kind of ignites. And it feels like you can feel power in the air when Eek is doing this. And he squints a little bit, and you see him reading it, and he's like, "Oh God, man, we have been not checking up on Little Corner in a long time. That's a lot of mayors since our last visit."
Hmm, I've noticed.
Yeah. So basically this thing is acting as like it's a genealogy like type, it's a record of all the mayors who have come before. And he's
There's
like, and Eek then gently gestures for Antler's hand.
again, Antler doesn't. He's keeping a pretty. He's keeping like a pretty stoned face, but his ears are still kind of slightly twitching down a little bit. But he will.
Yeah.
He
Eek
will
says
give
two
his.
seconds. It'll take 2 seconds.
Antler will slowly give his hand out.
Eek takes the hand and then he slowly lowers it to the sash and he places it on the last bit of embroidery that can be felt around the loop. And he says, "And that's you right there." And he presses your finger down and you feel an overwhelming sense of yourself.
Oh. Oh. I'm just
And
gonna make it
the
quick.
the fire from the thread kind of like twists up around your arm and snaps around the crown of your head, but like in a friendly way that's like, "Yep, this is right. This is the dude. We like him." And Eek says, "All right, here's your hand back, and here's your sash."
As a whiz save on 15, so Antler does not like quickly pull his hand back. He just slowly brings it back calmly and takes the sash back.
Yep. And he says, "You have a really strong rapport with like the people here. Otherwise, that would have been just like a little spark, but you got like a whole fire trail."
You don't say.
Well, the way of detecting is different for everyone. Like my brother's got ice magic. I've got fire magic. My dad had earth magic, so it would spread like a golden or a silver touch up your arm. But
Hmm. Antler doesn't say much as he puts the sash back in his hammer's face. Again, the people around. He's not looking around at the people who saw all that and are looking pretty pleased about it. Like, hey, our mayor just got officially recognized by. I'm gonna say they probably recognize who Eek is at this point.
yeah, because like the fire and the extreme amount of power in the air did like
Yeah.
that didn't give it away. Then the fact that now Eek has turned around and you can see the golden crest that's on like that holds his robe in place. It's like a brooch that like holds his shirt shut.
Oh my god. Yeah, where it
He
gets
wears it all the time. It's shaped like his head because his dad is a dink.
it's word is quickly spread around about that then. About, hey, did you hear the crown prince? The crown prince is here and he just recognized Antler as the mayor. Yeah, they got the sash and everything. It was so awesome. That's spreading around real quick.
The little kids who did the macaroni art portion of the sash are all very proud of themselves.
They are incredibly proud of themselves. You hear like small cheering from the kindergarten school.
Yeah. And it's just like, "Oh look, you've got fans."
Oh joy.
Oh man. Anyway, now you know. Now I know who you are. I know I said I'd only need your hand once, but he holds out his hand. Now you need to take mine.
Again.
Yes, you need to take mine. What I just did, making sure you were who you said you were, is gonna happen in reverse. If I'm not who I say I am, your magic will react badly.
Very well. Last time. And
And yeah, takes his hand.
so what happens when Antler takes Eekim's hand?
Eek pulls him in, and gives him the awkward sibling hug, pat, pat, and the fires of inspiration are lit within Antler. You suddenly feel like you could do a ton of things because you have the ideas. You know people need help. You know things are going to happen. You know that you could be a good king. You also know that this guy can help you because for sure he is. And then like Eek leans back out and lets go of you and like out of your mouth. Can you roll a wisdom check?
A wisdom? Okay. Wisdom check or wisdom save?
Save to see if you actually like say without realizing it, the crown prince.
19.
Yeah, you keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
But like in your head, the resounding thought is, this really is the crown prince.
Ugh.
And Eek has like, you know how Antler's magic is like, it's blue and electric? Eek's got little like fucking sparkles of static in his fur.
Huh. Antler, Antler slowly pulls back and, again, doesn't say much, but he gives a nod. Okay. Like, he is, without a doubt, you are the crowned prince.
Yeah, and Eek says, alright, no more touching from here on out, I promise. That was all just required touching. I know a lot of people don't like physical like touch. I mean, I love it, but that's just because I'm like, you know, me. But like other people aren't like that. So, basically now I'm totally at your service. Let's go around.
Very well. Under one condition.
Yeah?
You are to sleep when it is nighttime.
Oh, can we negotiate that?
No.
I feel like we should negotiate that.
You are no good to me. Good to me, sleep deprived.
I'm going to tell you that we need to negotiate this because people's definition of the when nighttime is varies.
Do you see the sun in the air?
Yes.
When it is below the horizon and the moon has risen, and you see stars out, it is nighttime.
Eek writes this down: moon, stars, requirement, and then he draws a couple lines on a sheet of parchment that he has pulled from nowhere. And he says, "All right, deal." He writes his signature on it, and then he offers the contract to Antler.
I want to roll something because Antler is gonna. If this is a contract, one, it's ridiculous that this needs to be a contract. But if it's going to be a contract, Antler's going to is going to look at it and make sure that Eykim's not trying to sneak something in.
All right, go ahead.
What do I need to roll?
I need you to roll. Ooh, I think this would probably be. Oh man, either survival or a flat intelligence check.
What's my survival? What's my intelligence? I'm just doing a flat intelligence check because that's better.
Yeah, you've got inspiration from the hug, which means you can add a d6 if you want.
Well, if I add a d6, it'll be 12. Wait, hold on. You know, I'll just do the d6.
You have to roll the d6.
I'm rolling it! It's a 1, it's a 7. No, Antler doesn't.
You look over this, and all of your terms and conditions are being met. This seems like a fairly straightforward piece of agreement paper. So the only logical course in your mind to make sure that this mouse sleeps is to sign it.
You okay there, Owl?
Yeah, I swallowed my own spit.
Uh-huh. I want to make one more roll, and it's an insight check.
Alright, go ahead. God, I hope you crit fail this one too.
I really hope I don't. 25, nat 20.
Okay, so, in terms of logic, you know that the piece of paper, it's written out plainly, there's nothing in here that will harm me or the other party, but looking at Eek, you get the sort of idea that this isn't his first radio or rodeo. Either one, when it comes to, like, an adult figure, putting their own limits on him and him trying to get around them in the most polite and unimpeded way.
I must say, you remind me of a certain annoying child. He says as he waves his hand and a pen appears in it.
Well, annoying is really a state of mind. Or, well, it depends, because, like, what you consider annoying, other people might consider charming or, super useful.
I will allow it this time. And only this time. He says and he gives Eykim what is basically a stern look as he signs the paper.
Eek does not react because his dad has worse looks. Eek is used to this.
Yeah.
He signs the paper. Eek takes it back and he says, "All right, so the absolute requirements, which all must be fulfilled in order for me to have to go to sleep, are it must be dark, the moon must be out, the stars must be out, and I must be able to see all three."
I never said you had to see.
Well, it's on the sheet.
Yeah. Very well then. But if you faint from exhaustion at any point during these two weeks, I cannot be held responsible to what happens to you.
Oh, of course not. You would never be held responsible to this for this, like specifically because it's my dumbassery that is like anything I do is on me. It's not on you, and it's not on anyone else.
So comforting to hear you admit your own faults.
Well, yeah, if I didn't, then everyone else would have to, and I've heard enough criticism of myself to last for, like, decades. Anyway, so I hear that the main issue, and he pulls out the Antler's letter, the main issue that you're having is that you can't tell for sure when someone is really from the royal family or from the government, and when they aren't. And that's what happened with Lady Mazzy? Mizzou.
Yes, I do not. And I'm gonna roll D10 again. That's it's roll perception. It's a fumble. I rolled a fumble.
Perception is... Hold on. It is... Well, that's just a 0. That's a 15.
That's a 15. Antler reaches into his hammer space once more, and what he pulls out is a handkerchief that you see has blue thread embroidery on it with the initials XA, which Antler looks at and quickly puts back into his hammer space. Hold on.
That's
another one.
Files that away.
It's another one. He reaches back in again. This time he pulls out what looks to be a bright red jewel. He blinks. His ears flick. He puts that back.
Is that a ruby?
No. It's a 7. Okay, there we go. Now he reaches back in and pulls out. Oh God. He pulls out what looks to be a very official sheet of paper, with fine handwriting and embroidery and fancy ink embroidery on it, plus a wax seal and signature at the bottom. And Antler holds it out for Eykim to read.
Eek reads it and looks over and he says, "Yeah, this definitely is not from us."
Yes, unfortunately, one of your captains from Happiest Place could not tell the difference and followed Mazzy here to Little Corner.
Sometimes that happens, yeah. Basically, chances are the guy that you got was not actually from, like, the inner Happiest Place walls, because we've got everyone super connected there with our, and Eek reaches inside of his hammer space, and he immediately pulls out, what looks like a small, like, it looks like a monocle, but it's lined with gemstone instead of glass.
Okay.
Yeah, and he holds it up and then he flips it like a coin towards Antler.
Is he offering it for Antler to take or just to look through?
A little bit of both.
Antler will just lean forward to look through it.
Yeah, Antler You catch it as it comes out of the air. You hold it up to your eye and you look down, and you see that the piece of paper looks the same through this thing. The seal looks the same. Basically, this entire sheet of paper doesn't look like anything except for a sheet of paper.
Okay.
So Eek says, "You can keep that, by the way." And then he reaches into his he has his bag of holding on him, and he pulls out he pulls out his own stamp, and he says, "This is my personal stamp. It gets updated every year." And the way that you can tell it is my stamp is because when I use it on things, it causes a burning aura to appear around whatever it is stamped on. You still have the letter I sent you?
Antler will, putting the monocle in the letter that he has in one hand, he will reach back in hammer space again and pull out the letter that Eykim has. That Eykim sent.
Yeah. Eek takes it, and then he flips it over so that you can see the seal, which has been broken in half because Antler opened it. But he says, "Take a look through that monocle again."
And Antler will hold it up to his eye and look through.
And you look at this, and like the stamp itself is like day glow, double on fire. You can see streams of magic kind of just like leaking out of it.
All right then. And then he's gonna look back, at the fake wax seal from the letter that Lady Mazzy had.
It's dark. It just looks like a blob of wax. There's nothing special about it. You can feel it in the back of your mind, like the one you were looking at that was an actual seal had kind of like a tingly feeling, but then you look at this and it just looks like when you look at something and you don't feel anything.
Antler will nod at that, and yeah, he'll have a look at the monocle and say, "That will do. Though we could have used this much sooner," he says as he's putting everything back into his hammer space.
And Eek sighs, and like you get the idea he would cuss, but like he's trying to be more upstanding. And he says, "Yep, we're supposed to redistribute these every year, at the very least update the enchantments on them. But guess what? Past couple of years have been a little rough. All right. What do you know about the weird event that happened a couple of months ago?"
This is the part where I roll history, huh?
Yeah, this is the part where you roll Arcana.
Oh, Arcana. Okay.
Or history, because like history would be you know something happened but you don't know what it was, and Arcana would be you know what it was.
Let's do Arcana first, just to see if he felt it. Yep. Is it 22?
Yep, you definitely felt it. You remember that you kind of ceased to exist. Everyone you know, like that whole glowing, vibrant, like system of like threads of the connections between you and other people disappeared for a good like 20 minutes as you were lost in the void.
Yeah, that happened. Antler wasn't too thrilled about when it happened because it brought about some very unpleasant memories of, you know, stuff from his past.
Being dead.
Yeah, you know how it goes when you've experienced death before. Experience it again, but like for 22 minutes? Yeah. Anyways, Antler, yeah. Antler nods when Eykim says that and goes, "Yes, I recall. Would much rather not go through it again."
Yeah, and he takes a look around, and he doesn't want to make the townspeople uncomfortable. He doesn't want to have to like explain this to them and cause an even bigger riot over the fact that the fucking country almost fucking disappeared again. And he says, "Do you have an office?"
"Yes, I do. This way." And
all right.
And Antler, I think for a moment he starts heading towards the mayor's office, which is in the middle of being redecorated. Because who was the previous mayor before Antler basically gave the guy another job to be his secretary, and unfortunately this secretary loves decorating, so he's currently decking that out. And Antler sees that and is immediately just like, "On second thought, it may be best to take this to my castle." And he's
Is that more macaroni art?
Yes, yes, it is. And
Oh my god.
and Antler's just gonna start leading Eykim to Ruindal instead, where there is just a small staff there and a lot less people.
Yeah, Eek follows, and they eventually get to Ruindal, and he's just like, "All right, I think we're far enough away that we can talk and be candid. You you felt the erasure event.
I did.
Sorry about that. It took us a little while to fix it, but it did get fixed."
Hmm. Quite. I am curious about how you meant. And he
uh,
pauses then, and he looks at
Eek,
you, Eykim, at that
all right.
because you saying that means that you were directly involved with this erasure event.
And Eek is just like, okay, so the people causing it they were part of an ancient sort of like band of people who have been doing this for cycles for hundreds and hundreds of years. They have been repeating the same thing and erasing inkwell whenever it gets too detailed.
Yes, I'm aware of them.
Yeah. And they've been in power for a really long time. And eventually, we managed to stop a lot of their nonsense, and they decided to move up their times table and kidnapped one of our party members, who was one of the pillars that was going to help us, finally end their ability to commit erasures at all. This was their sort of last chance to do it again and start over.
Hmm.
And we
Just,
managed to stop that by. You want to know what happens when you abstract your own death?
I can imagine, but tell me.
Well, basically, you break time and space, and because you and your other five friends are the people who are, currently representing the things that make up time and space, you get to put everything back together because in that one little moment of we exist but nothing else does, and also everything doesn't work, like, well, the world was kind of wibbling in and out. We went, no, we want to keep this. This is where we live. We love it, and we kept it. And you can thank Sally Forth for that because she is way too dumb to know when to quit, and I love her so much.
I'm
Oh, by the
sorry.
way,
He
I
did.
I have my pillar's inspiration, so I make everybody else's pillar powers and
Stop.
stuff
Did
stronger.
did you just say Sally Forth?
Yeah,
Ah,
she's
of
currently
course it's the of course it's that bird. All right.
she's currently one of the knights for the castle. She's been doing a lot of intensive training lately. I probably would have brought her today, but again, I don't want to bug her because she's in the middle of going through some adoption papers, and just it's great. She's got her own life going on.
Hmm.
She deserves it.
I suppose we met
She's one
fair.
of the nicest people I've ever met. Of course she deserves it.
Antler just gives the slightest of shrugs, like he. I only met her for a brief time. And
All
if
right,
what
that's fair, but just for future, like just so you know, if anybody says, "Hey, what do you think of Sally Forth?" you should probably say she's awesome and excellent.
I feel like I want to make Ecom either roll something
Yeah, he
because
probably should.
I don't know if Ecom's noticed, but Antlers, not asked for any explanation about the erasure or the pillars or any of that. He's actually just stated that he was aware of the cult.
Yep. So Eek's just going with no. This guy seems fucking on the level because he had like a magical like heart to heart where like he touched the other dude's magic and the other dude touched his magic.
Fair,
That's
fair.
why he's not suspicious. But if he wanted to know for sure why Antler would know this, he would have to tell. Like they'd have to like he'd have to roll some type of investigation or be like, say, why are you so comfortable with this?
Does he want? Do you want him to?
God, I don't think it totally matters. At this point, Eek knows he is who he said he is, and he knows he doesn't have to explain a bunch of awkward shit. So like, should he roll? He can roll. I'll do. Why don't we just go with?
I just feel like whenever Ecom has to explain it, he has to explain it in detail, and this has probably been the one person outside of Ecom's friend group that has not needed any explanation.
All right. How about I roll insight to see if Eek
Yeah, insight
actually
works.
Eek starts to explain what these things. The pillars are the four things that or the seven things that make up the very aspect. Like he starts going into full on lecture mode.
Oh dear. And
And then Antler just holds up his hand.
yeah, Antler just holds up a hand as there's no need. I know all about the pillars.
How do you? All right, they've existed since before you were. How do you know? Like nobody else knows this shit. I always have to explain it. What is going on?
As I said, it is a long story. You mentioned you have basically stopped the most current erasure.
Yeah, actually, we stopped all future ones too. The current Avatar of the Erasure wrote that into the fabric of reality that the Avatar of the Erasure can control it and nobody else can.
Could have used you in my time then. Would have been nice to have avoided the erasure then.
Your time.
Hmm.
You're from one of the pre-erasures,
Yes.
and you're not dead or disintegrated or a big pile of bones.
I was I was dead for a little while, but
And
now
you got better?
basically, yes.
What the fuck?
You're likely not to or I shouldn't say that. You might just know. Tell me, do you know the myth of the Antlered King?
Oh, I know that there's like a bedtime story for like little kids.
Yes, it
And
only
it's
survived in Furuma.
yeah, you have to pick up after yourself. You have to be like a good kid cuz otherwise the Antlered King will come and get you and dump you into his cauldron and drink you and he'll live forever.
Yes, I've already heard this one. Well,
There's another one that's like, oh, the Antlered King, like the first like potion of longevity was created when the Antlered King made stone soup with a small like town, but that one's a lot less popular.
I'd rather not get into that one. Point is that I am the same Antlered King. While not many of the stories about me have survived, I have.
Oh man, you have no idea how much I want to call bullshit on this, but so much weird stuff has happened in my life already. I'll just listen. I felt your magic. You don't feel like a bad person. You don't feel like you're lying. So like, I guess I'll go with it, no matter how much my logical brain wants to say this is not a thing that happens.
I'm not one to usually lie about this.
No, I figure again, which is why the whole like I want to not believe you just based on like knee jerk reaction, but like the tune and he does like big like quotation marks. The tune part of me is saying to trust you, and it's been a lot. I used to go completely off of the human logic side, and I've been learning to trust the tune magic side more. So I'm gonna lean on that now.
Hmm. I imagine that's due to being raised by real kind.
Yeah, probably I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of like it comes down to personality, I think.
Do I want to know the personnel? Actually,
No,
no,
I mean
I
the
don't.
personality of the individual. Like you can't stop a silly tune from being silly, and you can't make a serious tune be silly, and you can't make a silly tune be serious.
All right.
So maybe I just have the type of personality where I always consider, like the more logical, less weird version of things.
Hmm. That is fair.
Yeah,
Either way. Either way.
yeah.
Back to what you were saying before about the erasure.
Right, right. So basically, uh, when someone tried to kill Sally for the pillar of the abstract, she abstracted her own death in the moment between her dying and her being like alive. And abstraction can be kind of a double-edged sword because in order to abstract anything, you have to break it down into its base components.
Hmm.
So basically we broke apart the entire fabric of reality and picked and chose what we liked. And most of that was what was already here. except for I I wish to be taller. And my brother he wanted to be a dragon, and my girlfriend is now very buff, and just a bunch of stuff like that. That's also why the erasure can be
That was a
controlled.
5. Eek, the moment you said I wanted change things like I wanted to be taller, Antler was about to be concerned because like wait, so basically these guys had control over what would end up staying. They had the power to completely change the world, and you did it to be taller. And I just rolled a whiz save to see if Antler wouldn't crack up laughing. But that was a 5. I rolled a 5 whiz save. So you don't get to finish as Antler has just like thrown his head back and is cackling.
What?
Just
It's not a weird wish. A lot of people want to be taller.
Oh no, no.
Look, when you spend your whole life looking up at people, sometimes you're just like, man, I wish I could make easy eye contact with other people without having to like strain my neck. It's not weird.
Oh, this is who I have to deal with. At first, I was fully expecting to have to deal with Gisnep himself, the incompetent
Oh,
king
no
I've learned
way.
about. And this is his son, and he gestures at you like he cannot believe this.
I've
Where
got all the good genes. I don't know what you want me to say.
you do not need to say anything. You are just not what I was expecting.
I'm not really what anybody was expecting, which is why my dad tried his damn hardest to make me, I don't know, what people expected, which is why I'm so good at the politics thing.
Hmm.
The brains, that's all mine, but the knowing all of the stupid stuff that you have to say constantly over and over again to make people feel respected, that was years of etiquette training.
Hmm. Well, being what people expect is a rather boring way to go about things. Plus, it makes you
That's what
predictable.
everyone says. But it worked for me until, the erasure thing, and I
Hmm.
don't know. Either way, it's kind of weird. Anyhow, just you know what happened with the erasure event and all that other stuff? Basically, everything got put on hold for about 2 years. And beforehand, just Dad doesn't like to spend money on things he considers unnecessary.
So I've
The things that
noticed.
Yeah, the things that he considers necessary, military funding, personal funding, political schmoozing, he's he's got a lot of expectations of things because like he 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 started at the bottom and worked his way to the top, and now that he's at the top, the people at the bottom should be just as resourceful as he was when he was at the bottom, and if they aren't, that's on them.
Antler's ear flicks at that.
Yeah, and Eek says, I don't think that's right. I think if you have the power to help someone and you don't, it's wrong. If you have the power and ability to help someone and you don't do anything because you expect that they should be able to do it on their own, like if you don't even ask, I feel like that just makes you a bad person. Or maybe not a bad person, but it doesn't make you a good leader in the slightest.
Hmm.
Because that's the point of being a leader, is that you're there to help everyone else.
Not everyone would agree with you on that.
Exactly. But yeah, what school of government do you subscribe to? He chuckles, and he keeps walking, and he pushes open the door to the castle, and he's just like, are you the type where everybody should have to support you, or you're there to support everyone else? There is like an answer that I would prefer, but like I want to know your genuine answer.
Hmm. Well, as I've just told you that if I told you what my type of rain used to be like, I doubt you would approve.
Probably not, given that like child drinking was like part of one of the myths that like lasted after you died.
Hmm. To be quite honest with you, I don't know where that once started.
I don't either. It was just you had a magical cauldron, and it's like the magical cauldron kept you from dying. And they were like, "Well, what do you? What? Why would it keep him from dying?" And they're like, "It was everlasting youth." And then it was like, what makes everlasting youth? Probably things that are young. So it was like you take the cauldron and you put a bunch of kids in it, and then they make magical youth juice.
Hmm. Well, that is beyond foolishness. The cauldron was anything if giving any amount of youth. Hmm.
I'm gonna. You realize that you live in a magical country populated by cartoons.
I'm aware. Doesn't make it any
Foolishness
less
is kind of par the course.
I'm aware. Either way, I've I've all you need to know is I've been rethinking what my kind of rule will be. I have yet to come to a decision, but when I do, I imagine you will know.
I mean, considering that your rule consists of like one small town, I guess you could go for governor or something. That'd be neat. But
Mm,
uh, let me just tell you, you'll get a lot more support from people if you're there to support people instead of just yourself and your own ambitions.
I will take that into consideration.
Yep. If I get any like major complaints about you going evil and like, oh no, the world, everyone's dying or whatever, I will have to kick your ass.
Hmm. I will hold you to that then.
And Eek sticks out his hand on impulse for an agreement shake, and then he's like, "Sorry, bad habit, Dad. Whenever you make a binding agreement, Dad's like, you have to shake hands, and I've been doing that for years." And he tucks his hand back away.
And Antler will just simply nod, maybe chuckle a little bit. You are not what he expect. You are not what he expected, Eykim Gisnep.
Yep, this is a 19-year-old dumbass.
Oh yeah, he's gathered that.
Like he's very smart. That doesn't make him like wise.
I do
Like
about.
he's smart and his heart is in the very perfect right place, but like he's not fucking wise.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's gonna be like this is where it cuts to like a montage of the next 2 weeks of like Eek of like Antler has to get like called in at some point because Eek has like overworked and like no one can really convince him to like Crown Prince, you really should be trying to get a break, and Eekim's just like no, I'm almost done, I'm almost done. A lot
Yeah,
of that.
it's like no, I'm on a roll. I've almost completely I've almost completely rewritten your like your political records to castle standards. 1 second.
Yeah,
And then it's like also like they come in 20 minutes later, he has finished that, but now he is starting on like the bank records and shit.
Jesus Christ. And yeah, eventually Antler walks in and he'll I don't know what you know what he's just gonna be like, this is worse. Oh, this is worse than Ruby. And he's gonna probably walk over, grab Eykim by the collar, and insist as kindly as he is capable of that Crown Prince Eykim, it would be a great help if you went to bed.
Come on, I wish to be taller and I still get collared.
Yes.
Being
taller doesn't excuse.
He pulls out the contract and he says, "I have to see nighttime. I have to see."
Antler, this is where Antler has dragged Eykim outside, and it is nighttime. The moon is out. The stars are out. It is dark. It is nighttime.
Eek closes his eyes. I don't see. I do not perceive. But like then after a couple of seconds of having his eyes closed, he falls asleep.
Yeah, Antler just waits. He's holding Eykim by the collar, and he just looks at the child, it's just like, why?
Like Eek goes limp, and his tail and his ears fall down, and you hear snoring.
Antler is wondering to himself why everyone he's had to deal with why does he keep getting stuck with children?
Eek's just like, I'm an adult, but like, or he would if he wasn't asleep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Eek. You're a child. Antler, he's over 200 years old. You're a child. Anyways.
Everyone is a child to Antler.
Pretty much.
Except for Zan, who is an old man.
Yeah. Zan is the only adult.
Yep, Zan is the only adult, which is the only reason that Antler can relax around him.
Yep. Anyways, Eykim, next time you wake up, you're in a bed.
Eek wakes up and he's like, "Oh God, how many hours did I lose?" And he checks the nearest clock.
You have been asleep for over 8 hours, as you should have in the first place.
He curses and he runs back into the room he was working in, and there's fucking Antler, and he's just sitting there calmly. He's got like a mug of it's probably tea or coffee or something. It's whatever he likes to drink in the morning, and he's doing more of the paperwork that Eek was doing the previous night.
And Antler didn't even have to stay up. No, he went to bed at a normal time so he could get up early and start on it. See what a good sleep schedule does for you, Eek? Antler doesn't say that. He just lets it, he just lets Eek see it.
And Eek's just like, alright, since you cheated, and obviously you don't play fair, I guess that as Crown Prince, I have to take you off this project entirely.
And Antler just gives Eek a flat look.
And it's one of those things where Antler, if you made the argument that, like, all of the things that were required in the contract were fulfilled, so technically he didn't cheat at all.
Mm-hmm. Antler knows he doesn't cheat, and Eykim knows he didn't cheat.
And Eek's just standing there, and his tail's, like, whipping behind him a little bit, like, in the way that, like, a kid, might stomp their foot.
This is like dealing with Ruby, and you know what? Antler's had practice with it, so you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna turn back to the paperwork, and then he's just gonna slowly slide into view from behind him another stack of paperwork that needs to be done, and just gesture to the open seat, open seat next to him, because if Eikim's so eager to get back to work, it's right here.
Oh, that's actually the perfect way to deal with Eek. What the fuck?
Hey,
He's still mad, but he can't hold on to that if there's work to be done.
Listen, Antler's only like condition was that Eek get proper sleep. That was it. And Eek has slept, so if he wants to work now, he can.
Yeah. Eek is just like, his tail's still whipping, and he sits down and he does the little like side look, and he's just like, anyway, where I stopped off last night was that I think that your tax system needs to be thoroughly reworked. And he goes into a long, like, intelligent discussion of how to make the shipping system of this village almost run itself.
Antler will definitely listen to that, and he'll have his... Fable has no knowledge of stuff, but Antler most certainly does, and while his old economy that he's used to is definitely old, there were things that definitely worked that he will also bring up, as recommendations, bring back the happiest place as things to, work over.
Exactly, because there's stuff that works really well because you've studied it, and then there's stuff that works really well because you've lived it, and Antler's got a lot of the living experience, and Eek's got a lot of the book experience.
Yep.
Yeah, Eek has a +5 to history.
Antler
Which is why, even though his intelligence is only +1, he has so much fucking knowledge.
You have a +5 to history. Antler has a +8.
That's because he's old, okay?
Yeah,
and this banter is ongoing.
It's ongoing banter.
At one point, Eek just takes Antler's mug and drinks out of it, and then he's like, "Oh God, that's not mine." And he's just like, "Why does it taste like mothballs?"
It does not taste like mothballs. It tastes like coffee.
It tastes like mothballs.
I do not know what you are drinking. What you are drinking then, or what you have been drinking beforehand.
It tastes like old people smell.
I will choose not to be offended by that.
Sorry, I'm kind of tired. He puts the mug back down and like does that thing where like you turn away so somebody can't see you, but he's thoroughly trying to like get it off his tongue.
Antler will pretend not to notice.
Yeah, but then eventually he has come to the end of another day, and he actually goes to bed so that he can't be tricked again. He's just like, fine, I'm going to sleep now. I'm going to sleep, and I will be here tomorrow before you are.
Will he?
Yes.
Dang. Wait, can we wait? No, can we roll? I want to roll to see who gets there first the next day.
Oh yeah.
Please,
okay,
let it be
this would be an initiative roll.
Initiative? Okay. Oh no. Not initiative. Oh no, I don't want to look. 18!
God fucking damn it! Eek gets up at like 4:30 and comes in at 5 and Antler's there.
Yup. Just drinking his coffee, just doing the paperwork.
Oh, anger. And just like in their vivacity to sort of like improve over the other one, they get all the paperwork they want to get done fast.
Yeah, they get a lot of work. I feel like this like light competition between them gets stuff done really quick. And the town is like, man, I don't think the town's ever gonna really be happy with the King Gisnep, but their view of the Crown Prince is definitely very positive.
Yep. So, then eventually when they finish everything, they go, like, Antler's like, we have to go outside, and Eek, like, Eek hisses at the light, and he's like, we have to go outside.
I do not enjoy socializing with people any. Well, actually, you probably like it more than I do, but it needs to be done.
The light burns.
Oh no, how you must suffer.
I know. And he leans against Antler's arm, and you get the idea that the more comfortable Eek is around a person, the more, like, physically affectionate he is.
Oh, Antler doesn't know what to feel about that. Oh dear. Antler was expecting to make enemies with the Crown Prince and the King, and that's not what's happening right now.
Nope. If you meet Eek, you've made a friend.
Oh no. I think there have been multiple times where Antler just like would just casually like either lean away or just, you know, he has to get up and get something real quick for the paperwork he's doing.
Yeah, and Eek is used to this because his own father is kind of the non-touchy type, you know? That's why Eek likes to be so tactile with the people he cares about, because, like, it's like, I'm not gonna say touch-starved, but he's a little touch-starved.
I mean, if I'm being honest with you, Owl, so is Antler, but he doesn't know how to deal with that just yet. Listen, this is an old man who you know, didn't really have that in his past, you know, life. And now he's kind of just had it suddenly all shoved in his arms, and he doesn't know what to do with it.
Yep. So, Eek finally, like, he's gone into town, and, can you roll perception?
Okay. I'm rolling perception. Oh dear.
Yeah, can you roll perception?
What's my perception?
Can you roll perception for me?
I'm doing it. Hold on. 13.
I'm gonna say that doesn't... You get the vague sense that something is off, but not, like, more off than, like, usual.
Antler ears flick, and he has to look around the town real quick, just to be sure, like, is the town as it was the day before?
It is strangely almost empty.
Oh no, not again. Antler's gonna think that, oh god, okay, who's come in to try and take over my town again? Oh, great.
You walk into the town square, and then, Eek, who's been tagging along next to you, grins, and he, you don't hear, but he sends out a message to everyone around, and he says, now.
Oh no.
And confetti shoots out of everywhere.
Oh no. You didn't.
And, like, there's balloons, and, like, a marching band comes in, and they say, welcome, Mayor Antler, and all this other shit.
Yeah, without a word, Antler has slowly, like, with the creaking noise, has slowly turned around on his heels and is slowly walking back the way he came.
Hold on.
Someone's gonna have to stop him or else he won't.
Eek just rolled strength.
Okay.
Eek grabs the back of his robes, and, comically, Antler ends up with the hook thing when someone stops you by the back of your coat.
Oh no. Eykim, let go.
No.
Let go of me.
And then, like, a little kid comes up, and they have, like, a fucking macaroni necklace, and they go, Mr. Mayor!
Oh god. Antler's ears are pinned down, and he's trying so hard to keep a straight face. Yes, hello.
Mr. Mayor, when I grow up, I want to be mayor.
Oh.
This is my formal challenge to you when I'm grown up.
I see.
And it comes with a cool necklace that I made for you because I think you're cool.
Antler looks over at Eek like
This
he would never plead for help, but also Eek,
this
Crown
little
Prince.
kid fucking scales Antler
Oh my god.
and then drops the necklace around his neck and hops off.
Nope. I mean, it's probably not gonna get past the antlers.
Nope, it gets caught on one of the antlers and it just kind of hangs there and clacks back and forth.
Antler just stands there, like he doesn't know what's happening. What?
And then just basically everyone in the town they come around and they present Antler with something, just like a vague little a little stupid present, you know. And they're just like, we're really glad that you came by and that we voted for you. We're really glad that you helped us, and we're so glad that you sent that letter, and just we're really happy. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but you're doing a great job, and we want you to know that we appreciate you.
That was a 14 performance check, so Antler is once more just giving very polite nods, very short thank yous, and I'm not gonna have Eykim try and roll insight. His ears are pinned down. Antler's ears are pinned down.
Yeah, and Eek finally lets go of Antler, and he says, "You would not last a day in the capital." Oh my god. Sorry to spring this on you, but everyone really, really wanted to give you a welcome party.
Please do not tell me the capital is like this.
All the time. Specifically because you have to play nice and you have to socialize all the time as king. If you were not kind, if you are not personable, all the single time, even in a busy room full of partying people, it reflects badly on you and your station. So while you might be a pretty good mayor, Eek holds up he holds up a book that just it looks like a book, but really it's just basically it's some notes that Antler has left lying around on what he dislikes about the current government and stuff. And Eek says, you might think that you'd make a really good current king, but I think that you might need a little more time to work up to that.
Antler doesn't say anything, but
And yeah, Eek's just like, I think you need more time to work up to that, and not to mention, not being king is pretty fucking sweet. Not having the responsibility for thousands, it's a heavy weight, man, and I know you used to be dead. You used to be dead, and you weren't the best king before, but now you've got a whole new chance to start over with people who love and support you. And he gestures to the town and to Ruindal in the far distance, and he says, I just don't get why you would want to give that up when it's a nice new gift.
Do you want to roll insight again?
Alright.
Damn, that was a nat 20.
Yeah, it's actually a +4, and I put in the wrong thing, so that's a 24, actually.
Oh, dang. Antler opens his mouth to object, and then he stops and he hesitates. And this is not a man who hesitates with his words usually. But when you say that, and he looks at, he looks at Little Corner, he looks in the direction of Ruindal, and he shakes his head as he looks back at you, Eykim, and just says, "It is not something I think you would fully understand."
Try me. The party's still going on in the background, but it's a little quieter now because they got their initial yay out of it, and now it's just people who are having a good time, milling around, listening to the band, eating corn on a stick, that sort of deal.
You, you say that this is a second chance, and I agree it is. But you say not being king is also... You say it as though it is a good thing. Never in my life has not being king been good for me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that the best years of my life were when I was not actively being trained to be king.
Yes, but your start in life and mine were very different.
Of course, because we're two different people, but
It means
that doesn't necessarily mean we can't see eye to eye. I know that you can't think of doing anything else because it's all that you know and it's the best thing that you know. But if there's one thing I've learned from the universe almost getting completely deleted and also kind of being kidnapped by my best friends, it's that you're allowed to be things other than what you think you have to be.
and what is it? What else would I be, Crown Prince?
Well, this is just a little suggestion, but I think that to ease you into like the modern century, because you're so old, uh, having you be like, I don't know, pretty a pretty good political advisor would be a nice start.
An advisor.
Yeah, if something goes wrong, I take the heat for you. You get plenty of time off to spend with your XA, whoever that is.
Antler just glances away.
Like, I'm here to be a buffer between you and whatever's coming at you. Again, I'm king and I can't get away from that. You have a chance to get away from that, and you say you don't want to do it and you actively want to look for problems.
That is quite the offer to make to someone you've not had much time to know.
I've known you for a week and you tried to make me sleep 6 times.
Because you're not very useful when sleep deprived. That was a pragmatic reason.
All right, so was the whole like tucking the fucking blanket in pragmatic?
I did not tuck you in.
Oh, really, Mr. Oh, I can't tell when someone's faking being asleep. Eek has a +7 in performance.
Oh my god.
I think that you're a lot softer than you think, but you're not used to being able to be soft. So, this is permission from me to you. Be as soft as you fucking want. And maybe give me advice when I ask for it.
At that, Antler stands up and says, "Think what you will. But as far as my goals are concerned, I do not need your permission to do anything."
Well, of course not. Sure helps, though.
I think that will be all for today.
All right. I gotta head back tomorrow because it's been 2 weeks. Kind of saved this whole big important thing. Like I've been working on narrative flow and the tooniest way to describe things to people. Because like again, I didn't used to do any toon stuff at all because I felt like it wasn't safe to do it. But now I do it and I'm more comfortable with who I am and with the people who support and love me. So it's not like this is a sort of thing that I can connect with you on another level. Definitely not.
Yes, fine. What? And Antler, I don't think Antler's much listening anymore as he is starting to walk away.
It's not like the fact that I have repressed my toon side is very much like you have repressed your merciful side, and doing both has done nothing but hurt us both.
I am walking away now, Eek. I can no longer hear you.
I bet you can't. And then, like, in a flurry of sparkles, the fucking sash appears on Antler. That one wasn't me! And it wasn't. It was one of the wizards from the town.
Antler is I'm just gonna make a whiz save real quick before Antler to see if Antler does something bad, because you've not only called him out. That was an 11. Would you say an 11 does it?
No, I'd say you have to at least hit a 13.
Cool. So Antler, he doesn't. I would say 11's good enough to say that he doesn't rip it off, but he does very much not hesitate to get it off of him, and he looks like he is about to just throw it on the ground, but he stops, takes a breath, puts it in his hammer space, and continues walking.
And then, like, we cut to another, like, we cut to the wizard saying, "Look, I got a photo! We have proof!"
Oh my god.
And that's the photo that they're gonna put in his office.
Oh no.
Like the big portrait behind his desk.
Antler spends several days in Ruindal and not in Little Corner.
Yep. But, like, genuinely, these people in this town like him. And it's really hard for a straight type Toon to accept that people love and care about them.
Oh, especially with his past. This is very difficult. And the fact that
like, the amount of rustic hospitality in this town is so immense.
It's a lot.
Picturing.
It's a lot. Yeah. They're very. Listen, when a noble isn't trying to take over their town, it's a very hospitable town.
Yep.
They're good people
it's
here.
A nice little town, and then like Antler's like, "I'm going to help you, and you don't have to ask too much." I dropped something. I'll find it later.
I don't think Antler is there to see Eykim off the day Eykim leaves.
Oh, yeah, that's probably it. So, like, basically, Eykim comes back. His horse has been taken care of for the 2 weeks.
You do, however, Eykim, just as you're about to go, a male scout comes basically dashing in real quick and like, wait, don't go yet, I have a thing for the Crown Prince. It's a really long run from here in the castle.
And Eek just kind of leans down because he's on the carriage and he's just like, all right, and he like hops down and he's like, I thought I covered everyone's complaints, but if there's one more, I can deal with that. And he takes the letter.
It's not. It's a rather heavy letter. You'll notice it's actually quite bulky.
God, this thing's heavy.
Yep. And when you open it, what comes out is a book.
And Eek looks at it, and he's just like, I mean, this isn't the first time I've been mailed a book, but...
You notice that it looks... You look at the date that is scrawled, it does not have a actual title on it, but you see a date that has been scrawled in golden ink at the bottom corner, and this book is over 200 years old.
Is this Antler's diary?
God, no. Open it.
Eek opens it.
No, it's a freaking...
I can't wait to read about all of his crushes.
It's a history. It has history put in it. It's basically like an accurate summary story of the Antlered King about what actually happened, with the black vessel and the cauldron, how he died. That's shit. There was no, eating of children involved.
I like how you're like, God, no, it's not his diary. That's in a much more secure location.
Yeah. What do you take me for? They have not nearly bonded enough for Eek to earn that.
No, I just thought it was funny. I was being facetious because I'm like, all right, it's a book and there's no title. Is this a diary?
No, it was funny. It was funny.
Yeah. So Eek takes the book and he's like, oh, I know what I'm doing over the carriage ride home, and that's just reading this book.
Yeah.
So he laughs, and then he can't cast message to Antler because he's too far away. But he rips out a piece of paper and writes on the back, thanks, and a little like smiley face. And he gives it back to the mail dude and says, this is for Antler.
Oh. Okay. The castle's uphill.
Take it back on your own time. You do not have to run.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It's not from the diary. It's a page, like it's a page from like his own shit. Like he's got paper on him. At this point, he basically kind of sweats paper. I don't even know.
Just reaches behind him. You hear a ripping paper sound, and he pulls out a full sheet.
Yep.
Nice.
So it says, thanks. There's a smiley face, and then under that is it's like the fantasy equivalent of like a phone number, I guess.
Oh my god.
Like it's for Eek's cell phone, CEL phone, and it says when you're ready to give political advising a try, give me a call.
Oh god. I can't tell you how close Antler. The moment he reads it, Antler's gonna be very close to throwing it away. But instead, I think he's going to stash it in some like very like dark corner of his room to be forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Which who knows, he might come across later.
Yeah, we cut to Eek, and he's on the road again, and he's trotting with his Dalmatian horse, and they're on their way. And then we cut to Antler, who is like fucking. I can only picture that he's like, oh, what do you call it when someone is like, it's like brooding, but like pouting.
Pouting.
He's in his office pouting.
Not the words I'd say, but I mean, yeah.
He's just like, I don't need friends. Who needs friendship? Friendship is stupid.
He is a king, and he does not need to be soft. He has never needed to be soft before.
And Eek's trying to make the argument, being soft is a good thing, and it feels good. And Antler's like, I do not perceive.
Yeah, I think at the end of whatever pouting, brooding Antler's doing, eventually he just puts his head in his hands. It's just like, I need to see the doctor. Something's wrong.
The feelings keep infecting me.
Something is wrong with him, and he needs to see the doctor. And I think that's a good place to end it.
Yep. That's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you had a good time.
Hope to see you again soon.
I like making nerds talk to each other.
It's very fun. It was very fun. There was just so many moments where Antler did not, like... Antler wouldn't say anything. He would let Eek, like, lead this conversation a little bit. And I was just like, oh, man, I'm sorry, Owl. I'm making you do most of the talking.
No, I don't mind, because, I'm the type of person who likes to... I really like to make sure that my point gets across, so, like, I end up having, characters have really, like, long exposition. So, to have a character who reacts more, like, in the physical, like, where you'll see his ear twitch or whatever, basically, like, Antler is more of a physically expressive toon. Any type of movement he has a lot of meaning behind it.
Yeah.
And then, the movement that Eek has is just literally, it's an expression of how he is at the time, and it doesn't mean anything deeper than that, so he has to express it with words.
I love the boy. I can't believe Antler had to pair... I can't believe Antler had to basically kind of dad Eykim a little bit.
Eek's just like, hey, nobody else has done it before.
God.
Well, actually, his dad has a little bit, but, like, in the shitty half-assed way that Altway Gisnep has in this universe.
God. And I still hold to that. If Antler ever meets Gisnep, there will be words. There will be very strong words. Anyways, I'm going to end my recording now, because I didn't stop the recording. Anyways, bye!
Bye!